I wanted to say this, like, I'm not going to shove Tiger Woods down your throat. I'm not going to do that. He didn't play well today. He was all over the map, comes out, drops a double bogey on the first hole, had another double bogey in his front nine, got a little hot early on the back nine for him, had an eagle mixed in there, a couple, I think it was bird, par, eagle, then he stumbled again on the back with a couple of bogeys. So Tiger's not the story today. What's becoming the story, and we were talking about this during the break, and I'm curious where this goes the rest of the season, because you're going to need a little more evidence before you say this with great conviction, but there's enough evidence to at least present this to you. And, you look about the run, or pardon me, you look at the run that Tiger Woods had, the run that propelled him to the top of the sporting landscape, encompassing every sport. There was Tiger, it was everybody else, There was a point he even eclipsed Jordan. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It was just a different energy. It was this cultish. It was just so different. We had never seen this. It was a sport. I joked with Tiki the other day. I said, for a while, the only debate was guys going to wear light khakis or dark khakis. I mean, what kind of pants are they going to wear to tuck their bellies into to play, at the U.S. Open, whatever. I mean, yeah, and then Tiger came, and he looks like a wide receiver walking up and down the fairways with his shoulders back, and he's all jacked up, and he's crushing the ball. We know what Tiger did. And then he just slayed courses. They start to try to Tiger-proof them. And they tried to modify them in a way that, at least in theory, gave not so much Tiger's peers a chance to compete with him, because there was nothing. I mean, the only way they could have accomplished that is if when they announce, from Florida, for Tiger Woods, and they're like, all right, Tiger, you're starting the round at +3. Everybody else is level par, but because you're so good, we're going to give you 3 bogeys. You haven't hit a shot yet, but you're 3 over par. And eventually, when it's all said and done, you'll be 13 under par, but just to make it interesting, you're +3 to start. They didn't Tiger-proof the courses to give Tiger's peers a better chance to hang with them. They Tiger-proofed the courses to give the golfing record books a chance to sustain themselves, because he was obliterating everything. And now you start to look at what Brooks Koepka's doing. Now, if Brooks Koepka comes out tomorrow, and he'll be late in the afternoon, he'll be 1-something, I believe. He went out early today. He'll be late in the afternoon, which means the ground should be a little drier even more and a little tougher. I don't know that they'll trim the rough tonight, so you might even get a little bit more growth there. It's going to be trickier, probably tighten up or flatten out the greens a little bit more on the stimp, maybe tuck the pins in a tough spot, tougher. If Brooks comes out and throws up today, 63 today, and he goes 74 tomorrow, which he's not, then this conversation's kind of a waste of time. But if Brooks, think about it. What if Brooks Koepka goes wire to wire? And right now, if I'm betting heavy money that he is. I don't see enough long hitters in the mix that will be able to chase him down over the next couple of days. That's just my opinion. And maybe Brandon will disagree, and if so, we'll get some interesting banter with that coming up next year on Tiki and Tierney. But what if Brooks shoots, and I want to reference this because I believe it's very important. It gives you great perspective. So in 2000, I was not at this even though I'm from here, I was not at the 2002 U.S. Open. I was working and living in Detroit. And that was when they were all over, crazy New Yorkers were all over Sergio with the waggles. Tiger won that at Bethpage. He shot -3. Just a little perspective. -3 on this course. -3. Tiger in 2002. In 2009, Lucas Glover, all right, certainly nowhere near Tiger or Brooks Koepka, shot a -4. 276, 277. Right now, I mean, Brooks Koepka, if he even remotely replicates what he did today, is going to shoot like 261. It's going to be ridiculous. And I submit there's no way he's going to be able to do that on this course. But what if he does? What if he slays the unslayable? And what if Brooks, and I know he doesn't emit a ton of personality. He very sedate in his mannerisms on the court, even when he eagles or holes out. I mean, you barely see any emotion. But what happens if he does that this weekend? And you start to see this continuation of what he's been doing now at the majors for a while. Brooks Koepka might be the first, this is where it gets interesting, might be the first person since Tiger to be able to sustain this level of play since Tiger. You had David Duval do it for a little bit. A lot of people forget David Duval was the world number one. And then he had some back issues. He had some depth perception issues, and he gained some weight. He lost his game. But he signed the mega contract with Nike, and then he just lost his swing. And, he's a broadcaster now. We've had him on the show. Still plays a little bit because he's got some exemptions, but, his game is pretty much vanished, unfortunately. Then there was like Vijay Singh for a moment, and obviously Phil doing his thing, right? But if you look at this century of golfers, those who have taken aim at the throne of long-term, sustained dominance, Rory flirted with it, lost it. Jordan Spieth came out of the chute flying, lost it. Dustin Johnson, we were waiting, and he grounded the club. What was that, 2014, I want to say? I think that was at Valhalla when Rory McIlroy shot minus 16 in 2014. I'm pretty sure that was I could be wrong, but I think that's it. And that was the start of Dustin. And we're like, wow, this guy might be the next guy if he can curtail his drinking and some other issues and get his act together. And thankfully he has. And then he 3-jacked at Chambers Bay, and Jason Day won that, right? He left a major on the table. And then he got his act together and won a couple majors. But Dustin Johnson hasn't quite been the same since that little run at dominance. Brooks Koepka appears to be the one guy capable of sustaining it. And to come, again, this is coming from a hack, so take it what it's worth. But to shoot a 63 on that course today, I'm trying to think of an equivalent for somebody like non-golf fans. What is the equivalent? The degree of difficulty at that course, at a major, 63? I mean, I loosely translated, that would be like scoring, I'll say 70 or 75 points in an NBA game. Okay? Or D-Cell just said no-hitter. No-hitter, far more common. No, I was not that. I was thinking like 5 home runs in a game. Certainly 4 home runs in a game. I was thinking maybe 5. Maybe back-to-back no-hitters. That would be like if you're a goalie in hockey ripping off, I'd say 7 or 8 straight shutouts. Like, it is just, it's inconceivable to think what he's done to this course. And while we're all thrilled, and I told you Tiger Woods would win a major, I looked into that camera, I said it into this microphone when he first went back to his tournament in the Bahamas that he hosts, the no-cut event with 18 golfers, and I started to look at his ball speed and his swing speed. I said, he's healthy. Now, if he could get his slot and all the stuff that real golfers can talk about that I won't waste your time on, if he could get back to that and his feel, Tiger Woods is going to win a major. But this isn't about, Tiger this weekend. Tiger's going to blend into the woodwork. This is about a guy who is on the precipice of doing something, number one, nobody saw coming, and number two, he could control for a while. Now, the only concern, like if I'm on the PGA Tour, and I'm in the headquarters right now, and I'm plotting out, I'm like, not that I would say this publicly because you would never diss a great player, but if I'm sitting there, I'm saying, man, boy, Brooks is great, but would he sell? Do you flip on the tube to watch Brooks Koepka? I'm the wrong guy to ask because, as the joke goes, I'll flip on a European event to try to learn something about golf. So I'm the wrong guy to ask here. But, I mean, D-Cell, you're a fringe golf guy. Santha, you're a fringe golf guy. That might even be, that might be giving you more credit than you deserve, with all due respect. I know you're tuning in to watch Tiger. Are you going to tune in to watch Brooks Koepka?
I don't know that I would, judging by just in the break. I was asking you questions about Brooks. I don't feel like I know a lot about Brooks, the person.
Yeah.
And I don't know a lot about Tiger until it came out about his personal life.
Sure.
I don't necessarily need to, but I don't really know a lot about Brooks.
But early with Tiger, you didn't need to know a lot about him because his ethnicity it pulled you in. The rareness of that, the barriers that he was just slaying for so many people, and the cross he was carrying there. And by the way, then the excitement on the course, you got to remember, some of these guys now, they've got some energy. Sergio's got some energy, and some of these young guys have some energy. When Tiger Woods was doing that, you got to remember, there were guys on that golf course When he comes up at 97, there's guys playing those events that came up in the early 80s that are looking around saying, and I don't mean this is a race thing, although I'm sure that was, let's not be naive, of course that was a problem for some. But they're looking at this guy saying, now, who the hell does this kid think he is? We don't do that in golf. That's not how we celebrate a birdie. We just move on to the next tee box and we tip our cap. But that's boring.
But that seems to be what Brooks is more from.
No, that's what I'm saying. So Brooks is a tough package because he crushes the ball, but there's other guys who crush the ball. Now, he might crush it the furthest. You know, his best drive versus Rory's best drive versus DJ's best drive versus Rahm's best drive versus maybe one or two others' best drive. It's negligible. I mean, it might be 2-3 yards in either direction. I mean, Brooks Koepka could smash it 370 if he catches it on the screws with a little downwind. But does that really pull you in the way it did when Tiger was long? Because Tiger was long and nobody else was. There are other guys who hit it as far as Brooks Koepka does. So he doesn't have that advantage. It's not like you're intrigued just by his sheer length. So it's like, okay, now he's got to pull you in another way. Is he jubilant? Is he unpredictably excitable on the golf course? No. I mean, he's stoic. You don't know if he's shooting an 81 or if he's going to shooting a 63 and breaking the course record, establishing the course record, which, by the way, he did today.